Okay, good afternoon. If you just sat down, my name's Cliff Hill from Ectron. We're sponsoring the Content Theatre, the Digital Marketing Show this year. We provide a web content management and customer experience platform. Here's some of the customers that are using some of those tools. We're sat at the back there, so please come and find us if you have time later. Anyway, 1:15 slot, I'd like to introduce David White from Web Optimizer. He's going to talk about ESP and the 10 steps to digital marketing success. It's promising a 30-minute quick flyer, 30-slide presentation. So,
thank you. Thank you. You might be able to hear me now. Does that work? Okay, good. Hi everybody, I'm David White. I run Web Optimizer. I've been running Web Optimizer since 1986. I started, 96. I like to joke, 8BG, 8 years before Google. They did quite well. Before I start, just to let you know, I run a monthly small, medium, and large-sized business meeting every month. It's called GKIC. It's in the middle of London, and we talk about direct marketing. Each month, what we do is we take apart someone's campaign, and then we work out how it might apply to you and your business. Who's here who runs a small business? Okay, so there's a few of you. Actually, it could be a medium-sized or even large business, because there's some quite large companies represented in the business in the meeting. We run it at a place called 85 Gresham Street. It's in the city, and our next event is on the 3rd of December, and it's on that date. We start at 12. We finish at 4. We promote it on meetup.com, GKIC London. It's all about direct response marketing. So not exclusively about about digital marketing, but that's included. Because what we have to do, of course, in order to sell online, we've got to communicate effectively with other people, other humans. So digital marketing, which is what I'm going to talk about, is really a small subset of direct marketing. Who here is familiar with direct marketing? Okay. So if you want to talk to me afterwards, because we need to make some space for the next speaker, our stand is just across there. Okay, so helping the outstanding stand out. Who here is outstanding? Just me? Oh, there's a few of you. Oh, good. So what we have is we all have areas of expertise, things that we're very, very good at. And the difficulty is, how do we get seen within the crowd? So it's very important that we work out how to stand out. So at this show, we've launched a new website called youroutstanding.com. And if you go visit youroutstanding.com, you'll see me on video. It's an interactive video. And I ask you 10 questions, and you fill in the answers on the video. And it's questions about you, the type of person that you are. And then, as a result, it's a branching video. Depending on the way you answer the questions, an appropriate video will load in its space. And then I'll tell you more about the kind of person you are. Because when we understand more about ourselves and where we are in the world, we can recognize how we might get on with other people. But in the world, there are basically 4 types of personality styles or comfort zones. And what happens is when we do a lot of digital marketing, we kind of, I like to call it spray and pray. We think of a message that suits us. We think this is our USP. We push it out there. We push it out to everybody. It goes out to tens of thousands, millions of people. It's across the top of our website. It's everywhere. However, we wrote that. That's not necessarily what our market is looking for. We hope it is, which is why we wrote it and why we publish it. But if we knew who we were talking to, if we knew what kind of person we were able to engage with, and we were able to talk to them in their language, then we'd probably engage with them for longer. Does that make sense? There's 4 types of, well, there's many, many different types of people out there, but I've created a digital system which is very scalable, and it's at youroutstanding.com. You should have been past one of these brochures, leaflets. You all got one of these? Okay, we can get more of these from our stand, and it's a nice picture, but it says you're outstanding, and you visit you'reoutstanding.com, and that's where the questionnaire exists, and then you can find out more about your personality type. So the 4 personality types are people, engineers, people who want to know lots of detail, then there's the dealer type of person, the accountant, and then there's the kind of person that has a big picture view. So the people person, they're interested in how they feel, addressing their needs so that they look good. And that's their primary motivator. Second type of person, the engineer, is how does this work? I want to know the detail. I want the manual. I want to go through. I need access to the tools. I'm a do-it-yourself type of person. We all know these kind of people, yeah? Some of you are in the audience. It's okay. There's no bad type of person. But knowing who these people are, knowing who we're communicating with, means that we can address our marketing message to suit them. And we can do it now digitally. So who here has heard of Myers-Briggs or... Yeah? So Myers-Briggs charges, it's a company, they charge a few £100. You take a long test, you send the money off, you send the form off. 3-4 days later, maybe 2 weeks, you get a report back. Very long-winded, very expensive, very difficult to do. So we've now done it, and I've just launched it at this show. It's a short video, asks 10 questions, it's interactive, and then it gives you the answer online. It branches and gives you the appropriate video. So therefore, the video at the end talks to you in your language. And after that, I invite you to choose where you want to go from there, because I think it's an application that's, well, it's an application that's already worked through about 300,000 people this year. It's already in use by large-scale newspapers, but it enables this one-to-one communication, which is really important to increase the effectiveness of marketing. So this is how, one of the ways, and certainly our key way, and a really important way, to engage, to talk to people in their language, to get them to be motivated to do something as a result of the power of your words, is to use the words that they respond to. So, anyone can drive a car if you were in races. Guess what? The racing drivers know how to race cars. So, I talked about I labelled this short presentation, ESP and how to achieve digital marketing success. So I'm going to kind of run through that now in a bit more detail. So anyone know what ESP is? I've got it on the screen as a clue. Extrasensory perception. Well, I'm going to show you something that a designer came up with, and I don't mean to shock. And so if you're likely to be offended by something that might offend women, I just tell you first of all, we didn't choose that one, but it was presented to me as a choice by someone who's a graphics designer, and I turned it down because I didn't want to offend women. My wife saw it, and she said, no way. Now, to be honest, we're not talking porn here, okay? So it's not that bad, okay? So guess which one we didn't go with? The gorilla, yeah? Because I think that's a bit sexist. Who thinks that might be sexist? Do you think that might offend certain women? No? Some of you find it okay? I find it okay, but then, you know, different people have different views. My wife didn't like it, and but the thing is, the reason we had the designs created is, it's all about standing out differently in your marketplace. And there's lots of people here in the digital market, and we somehow, for some reason, we default to Arial. We use Helvetica in everything that we do, yeah? Well, so does everybody else. You don't stand out. So we've done something really weird. We've not used words on screen in quite the same way. We've used graphical images. And graphics, art, as in artwork, takes an artist to produce it. They're more engaging. We've had people walk from the back of the hall, front of the hall, to the back of the hall, and someone say, you know what, this is the first stand I've really stopped and looked at because I really like the image. Okay? So I'm not sure it needs extrasensory perception to work that out, but somehow millions of people and lots of brands manage to miss this simple technique of attraction. Okay? So here, you are outstanding, we're appealing to your personal need. The whole idea, one-to-one. So here you are, produced on a Mac, guaranteed to show up well on a PC. Look, 10 steps to digital marketing success. So the first step that most people miss is the platform that their website is hosted on. Some people simplify it, other people overcomplicate it. If I'm asked, and I have been asked by a few people here, what should I do about my website, where should I get it hosted, that kind of thing, the answer is WordPress. Just use WordPress. Find someone who will host WordPress. WordPress is a platform. It's search engine friendly. You can update the content. It's real easy. Who here has a WordPress website? Great. Some of you have seen the light. It's only been out about 8 years. NASA use it. It's brilliant. Oh, and it's free. Yeah? But getting that bit. So not so offensive, but perhaps a bit more graphical. I would say Facebook is probably the gorilla out there right now. The new gorilla on the block. So Google is up there in traffic. Google is up there in price. Facebook is up there on traffic. Facebook is on the floor when it comes to price. Now, I'm not saying don't use Google. It has its place. My clients spend millions on Google. You don't have to spend that amount of money on Facebook. You won't achieve exactly the same thing, but if you want to get to market quickly and you've got a small budget, I would suggest that you think about using Facebook. If you make it work on Facebook, we can switch it over to Google. What you're looking for is to get return on investment. When we've got that, we can scale up and spend as much as you like. The more money we spend, the higher return we'll achieve. So don't forget the big gorilla. So website design and build. Your site needs to be solid. You get that with WordPress. I'm not on commission. It's free. Okay. You need to create a subtle, sometimes not so subtle, but generally a subtle and active sales process. It needs to be inviting. You need to give people reasons. Lots of people just talk about themselves. You need to talk about what's in it for your visitor. I can't tell you the number of times that we have optimized websites, and I think there's a lady earlier talking about jewelry, and the client said, well, we just sell jewelry. Well, guess what? People might be searching for jewelry, but they're not buying jewelry. They're buying a necklace. They're buying a bracelet. They're buying something. They're getting married. They're buying a wedding ring. They're buying things for purposes. Okay? These things are connected. We need to think about the human connections with the things that you sell and promote. And we need to have that voice. We need to communicate with the wider market via your website. And it's really handy if we can do it in your visitor's language. So understanding the personality type and inviting people to tell us more about themselves early on, we can do that. And if you want to see that part in action, as I covered it a moment ago, go visit youroutstanding.com and you'll see digitally how we do it. There's no reason why you couldn't do the same. So the second thing, third thing on this, the next thing that I really, really like to do is I like to create reusable assets for people. So the classic is 7-point guide, download a free offer, this kind of thing. Who uses a free offer on their website to attract opt-ins? Anybody? Nobody. Okay, one person, two people. Okay, so you guys, you're not missing a trick. Well done. The idea is you attract the visitors in, then they say, hey, I'd like to download that. That's an attractive offer. And what do? You ask for their email address and then you send it to them. Yeah? Don't just let it on your website hang about for free. It's not going to help you. You're just servicing the market and you don't know who you're servicing. When you have their email, you can then engage with them and send them further information that they also might like. You increase your likability, they like you. You become the sole supplier, the preferred supplier. You become, they become your client. Okay. So lots of people I see create these kind of offers and they do it once and then they say, well, what next? And they dump it. But actually you can keep on using that offer and run it again and again and again. You can rewrite it, you can re-headline it, retitle it, you can modify it, you can fix it when it's broke. Sometimes it's not broke, sometimes you just, through feedback, want to expand it and build upon it. Sometimes, I've seen this done and done it myself, I've looked at a special report that we've produced and cut it in half and made it 2 reports. Sounds like double the value, yeah? Consumer gets 2 reports, and you've just made each report shorter, faster to read. Consumers like that. Okay. Creation of opt-in offers, absolutely key. So, this is the bane of my life in a sense. We work with some wonderful clients. We do optimization using SEO, using pay per click, and drive traffic using social media. If when those visitors come to your website, there's nothing for them to do, nothing for them to opt into, why did you do it? I mean, PR, ego? Wasn't ego. You're selling something, aren't you? What are you selling? You're selling clothing. Right, okay. You can sell anything online, can't you? Okay? So, you know, you can sell expertise. You can sell support, yeah? And you can sell clothing. But you need your visitors to opt into something. So it could be a guide. What's your report about? Clothing. Your report is about clothing. What's in that report? What to wear? How to wear?
Pretty much, yeah. Style and how to wear, yeah.
Okay, style and how to wear. So simple things. I just made it up and turned out to be almost right. If I spent a whole 10 minutes, maybe I could got halfway to doing a report. If I talked to you for 10 minutes, I could probably do a whole report, yeah? If you and I spent an hour together, we could probably come up with 5 or 6 reports. Every single report becomes an opt-in opportunity. So visitors come to your site, they opt in, you get their email address, you then send them information that they want. You're pleasing them. You offer them the ability to unsubscribe if they don't want to continue receiving your emails. Rarely do people unsubscribe if you're delivering and sending them more information that they want. So let's just rush through it. I got a strategy called T3, Timeless Treasure Triggers. Okay? So I just talked about creating an opt-in offer that you give away. How about you create an opt-in offer and you sell it? Wow. So there's a couple of sites over there exhibiting here, a couple of stands, and they've got a free offer. This is the opt-in offer, which is access to their tools. And then if you pay £30, maybe £30 a month, or whatever the figure is, you then become a customer of theirs. Okay? And they actually operate, if we go look at their business, a tiered pricing model. So free at the bottom, small price, graduated price, to high price, all the way to consultancy. Some people will go all the way through, buy everything. Okay? Don't be afraid of trying to sell stuff. What's the worst they can say? No. They just won't buy it. That's okay, but you've still got their email address, so you get to pitch to them again and sell them something else. So the site has to have quality content. I think a lot of people have spoken about content, but not really many people tell you what that content is. Someone, I think the guy before me, spoke about targeting the term keyword cooking, and the cooking keyword didn't make any sales. He probably wasn't selling enough. Probably could have sold some things. He probably could have created some content that wasn't just about recipes or about cooking, it was about cooking courses. In other words, he could have funneled, had a sales system within his website, funneled them to a given page, could have been banner ads on the other pages, people could have clicked and then opted in, got a free report. Now we know they're interested in cooking courses, okay? Then we upsell them. We say, well, here you are. You can have some expertise for £10, half an hour of my time. Could be a pre-recorded video, yeah? Reusable assets. This is the thing about digital marketing. You can play the video over and over and again, but don't be afraid to sell it if you've got good content. Usability, absolutely key. A lot of that is built into the WordPress platform. It doesn't have to be a big issue, but it is key to interactivity. It is key to attraction and retention of visitors. And finally on that page, reputation management. So who's here really interested in social media? Okay, so if you pop over to our stand, we've got this booklet, and it's 40 social media top tips for Christmas. And it's one of our opt-in offers. It's a report. But if you come to our stand, you can have it physically. I'm happy to share that with you. Is this still working? Okay. Okay, I'm going to rush through this now. I'm not sure where we are on time. So, SEO and Pay Per Click. When I set up Web Optimizer in 1996, 8 years before Google, everyone was saying to me, search engines, they'll never take off. Luckily, I had a client put money in my hand called Bayer Pharmaceutical, and they said, get us to the top of the search engines. I'm your man. Okay, let's do it. So we did it. And then after that, what we saw was Pay Per Click come out through, I think it was go.com. Then there was an argument between various search engines. Google became the leader and basically settled out of court, nicked the technology. But nevertheless, we saw the beginning of Pay Per Click, and now we know what Pay Per Click is today. Oh, just one point there. People discover people in social media, like they stumble across content, whereas the difference is in search, they're actively looking for it. So the intent is different. So you need to understand that is one of the key reasons that the way you manage a social media campaign is quite different from the way that you do SEO or pay-per-click. So SEO and pay-per-click is about intent keywords, buying keywords, price of car in, wherever we are, East London, people, Ford in, they have a different kind of intent. In social media, they're actually chatting to their mum, their brother, their colleagues, their son, their daughter, they're sharing the news, and it just happens that an ad pops up that grabs their attention. Maybe they'll share that. But their intent is completely different. They weren't looking for it when they were on social media, but you grab their attention. So, construction zone. So here's a couple of examples of what pay-per-click look like. I'm not going to spend more time on that. I just want to mention again, so this is social media, Google+. It's got my profile there. So hence in the search engine results pages, on that particular page, it was the only results page that had a picture of a person, it was me. We get more clicks on that one. Quite simple stuff. Blog articles. This is kind of step number 4. It's all about content. The question I'm most often asked, what kind of content? And the answer is all of it. There isn't one kind of content that just does it. You need to produce fresh content. This event is organised by a business called Fresh Business Thinking. They're always producing more content. Who's on the Fresh Business Thinking email list? I happen to know everyone is, because you've come here, so you've registered. Okay, and you'll see them come out with lots of fresh content. They're called Fresh Business Thinking. But their content will be in their emails and will be spread across blogs. So we're creating content to communicate with the target market. We're putting that content on our website. It's getting indexed by search engines. On that page is probably an opt-in offer or nearby, okay, to attract more interest and get qualified interest. So we follow people from an interest level through to conversion phase, and then we deliver on their interest by potentially sending them the report they asked for, and ultimately getting to a point where we sell them clothing. That's how it works, when we know they're interested. So a lot of people produce what I would call, rubbish blog articles. You can go to various places and you can say, well, I want a 200-word article and I want 5 a week, and da-da-da. That's really not the way to do it. Okay, do that, and yes, it'll be inexpensive, but guess what? You're really not buying anything. You're just buying rubbish. And if you present rubbish content to your marketplace, it impacts, it reflects on your brand. People do not feel so good about you when they see keyword-stuffed paragraphs and blog posts. Has anyone seen what I'm talking about? A few nodding heads. I've had some feedback from a couple of clients just recently, and they said, I don't know how you do it, but I'd like you to take that article that we've just written and not just put it in our blog, but go and actually upload it in my name in Marketing Week, and we'll position it as a thought piece. And it's really important that actually if you're going to write anything, you write something that makes sense, causes people to take action, and is motivational. It actually helps them. So we're not talking about content about cooking. We're talking, if cooking was the subject, we were talking about best practice, best cooking, best way to cook, things that actually help people. So a little litmus test is, if someone reading this, will someone actually learn something from it? Press releases. Press releases are really interesting. The 5th thing on my list. The thing about press releases is they have to go through a human gateway. So it's not just another email that you send out and hope that it appears in the press. You actually run this through what's known as a wire. So there's various wires you can use. prwire.com is one. And basically you produce a press release, and there's lots of guidance about how you can do it. Obviously we can do it. And you put it up through PRWire, for instance, and someone there reads the press release. It actually goes through a process of human vetting. And if it's vetted and it passes, it's then released on the wire. And then Google News picks it up because it's real. So in a way, it's a way of creating higher quality content and you can embed links in it, and it's rated higher quality because of this human process. So this kind of link building, if that's what you want to use it for, is much more powerful than just even article creation. So rush through, I've got a minute a slide. Regularly delight and surprise. We cross-promote them across Facebook, Pinterest, and others. Obviously Pinterest, if we've got images. We announce them through Twitter, which connects, attracts, and sparks conversations, bringing visitors back to your site. And what does the visitor see? They see things that are in harmony. They see what they expected to see. Good information about a good site. So this is a little campaign. For me, that's me with a hat. I got 312,000 likes in about 6 months. It doesn't take very long. I think it might be shown, yeah, so that's me getting married. I went that week to another 20,000 likes. I just want to show this article here. As you can see, well, you might not be able to see it. It was shared 26 times. It got 3,600 views. So if I post in the morning, I can expect 10 minutes later, 3, 4, 5,000 people may well have seen it. You can't see it there, actually. But embedded in this post around each of the pictures is a link that takes you back to my website. So I'm giving people images that they want to see. I'm sharing them. I get thousands of people liking it and viewing it. And people then post and re-promote. I get tons of coverage in Facebook. And then people end up clicking back on my site. So YouTube, we have a YouTube channel. That particular still is taken from youroutstanding.com. That's me speaking to you online and asking you those 10 questions to understand more about your personality and how you operate. So our YouTube account, I'm going quickly because the man's holding 5, 2. Me on Actual TV with Brian Tracy, if you've heard of him. So social bookmarks, lots of people miss this. So if you're producing great content, you need to open some social bookmarks accounts and go search for keywords and terms and make sure your content sits on other people's favorites lists by simply going to them and saying, hey, here's the content. So 10, finally, got there. Are we okay for time? Okay, all right. So having created all this content to go across all this different media, all this content at the moment is just going out across digital media. Facebook, Google, within your blog, Twitter. We're announcing it. We're telling everyone about it. We're getting lots of comments. It's getting shared. It's like this whole buzz all around you and your business. Brilliant. Publishing, though. So let's say we've got someone's email and we've sent them that report. And they buy some clothing. They become an actual customer. So even if they pay by credit card, and it's a digital delivery, the fact that they become your customer means you're probably going to end up owning or having access to their home address. So what's the big day that's coming up pretty soon? Christmas Day. So Christmas Day is usually the only time during the year, apart from your birthday maybe, some of you if you're lucky, where you actually get a box or something sent to you in the post. I mean, apart from Amazon, of course, which we order from every day. But a real personal gift box tends to only come twice a year. So if you now publish something into a printed book, so you can come and get our 40 social media top tips from our stand, if you publish something and you put it in someone's hand, it makes a massive difference because everyone else just sends out digital products. And as you've bothered to go to the extent of producing it, you may as well print some out and actually post some of this stuff to people who are your customers, because they will like you more for it. And you're not sending it out to millions, you're just sending it out to customers. So likely it is, postage is already paid. So it's not like it's a massive extra cost. But giving people more information in their hand at a human level makes a massive difference and makes you fairly rare. 1 minute. Okay, so a couple of magazines. We've also got the newsletter on the stand. So I've published 7 books now, each of them Amazon bestseller. I've done a chapter in each. I've won awards from most of them. And on the front page of our website, we have this downloadable workbook, and it's called 7 Rules for business prosperity in the new economy. And basically, it's a pretty tough book. It takes you through about 20 exercises, and I ask you questions about your business, and basically I want you to fill in the blanks. I don't want the book back, okay? You can send it to me if you want, but it's for you. The workbook process is for you to end up with being a better business person with a greater understanding of all the things that you need to do to be effective in business. So there we go. The key thing here is that in digital marketing, somehow it's easy for us to, because we're just staring at screens all day, to forget actually there's humans involved. So with that in mind, I'd like to thank you all very much for taking the time and listening to me, talk to you, and any questions? You've got one?
When you showed your profile, you had like baby animals.
Yeah.
What's that to do with, say, my company, which is insurance?
Well, so this gentleman said, when I'm showing on my profile animals, what's that got to do with, say, my business? Yeah. Well, the thing is we actually sell to people. So if we went door to door, every door, and we said, hello, do you want to buy insurance? Hello, do you want to buy insurance? Hello, do you want to buy insurance? Yeah. A, that would be boring, and B, we probably wouldn't sell much insurance. But if we said, hello, I was just like here, and I thought you might be interested in the world. What are you interested in? And they say, I'm interested in animals, for instance. Okay, so that's funny. I got this. I love animals too. And then you have a point of reference at the point of starting the conversation. So animals may not be everyone's point, and that showed animals. I also run sports cars, babies, weddings, people things that people like. And as a result, you can see the proof. It gets shared by 3,500. If I said, hey, I do web optimization, yeah, it wouldn't get shared by 3,500, I can tell you. Maybe not any.
Okay, sorry we're out of time, but thanks, David. And your
you.
stand number?
I'm right there.
Right there.
I
So any
have no idea
questions?
this number. D62.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.